Hi guys, let me know when you're on. Sorry, a message about moderator came on there. So this is the planned live. Again, if you ever want to know when the lives are going on, just check my post section. So this was a planned live for 2 p.m. UK time. It's the final look of the Natasha Denona mini rose palette, and that's what it looks like. It's her 5 pan palettes. So this is the mini rose. You can get various shades and colors, but this is definitely my kind of shades. We'll do some swatches later, but I'm doing my skincare, everything kind of from scratch with you guys today. It's absolutely pouring rain outside, so I'm hoping that it doesn't thunder. It was thundering earlier. So I'm going to do everything from scratch basically. I'm going to wear a lower SPF today because I'm not going out, but this is the Nivea Day Cream 24-hour natural almond oil, 24-hour moisture, SPF 15 for dry and sensitive skin. It is a lower SPF, and I would usually go out with SPF 30, if not more. But I think we're kind of learning more about our skin and learning about more now. Obviously, we have a lot of things going on with the global warming, and it's always so hot. So I would now minimum go out with SPF 30, and that would be minimum. This is almond oil as well. So if it had an SPF 30, this was something actually that was suggested in Superdrug for me. So sensitive to dry skin. I used to be really oily, but now it's more dry. So we're going to have a look. It's a brand new. So it's been, I will say it's new, but it's been in my kind of collection for a while. Hoping everything's okay, guys. Do let me know when you're on. I did allow comments. So I'm hoping, again, where my light is, I can't see if anyone's on. So I've got 2 lights to the side, and then I've got a light right on top. So I can see who's liking it, but where the light is on top attached, it kind of covers the little section where it says, where, hi Olu, thank you. Starting from scratch here today. So I'm starting with the skincare. Thank you for joining. Um, Let me know when you're on, guys, because I actually can't see where the light is. I will look at that later. So this is before we go with that, guys, actually I have a vitamin C oil that I'm using. And the other thing that I wanted to show you that I'm using at night that's really helping. Now this was definitely a skin care product. This is Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. Now they are more expensive, but this is a multi-recovery complex. So if you're out in the day or you're out in various weathers, or you just find your skincare needing like a really good boost, this is Advanced Night Repair. It does say you can use it during the day too, but I tend to just use it at night. So what do we got today? Today I'm doing a look with the Mini Rose palette from Natasha Denona, the final look. If you go into my post section, I did 2 other ones. So one with kind of a matte look, one with the glitter, and then today we're going to use this neutral brown right here. So I'm hoping everybody's getting notifications because I'm getting feedback that even though you're subscribed to the channel, some people have told me they're not getting notified when I'm going live. So I'm hoping that's why I keep popping it on the post section. So yes, Olu, today we're going to go ahead and use this eyeshadow palette today. So what I'm going to do is just pop on some of this invigorating skin serum, and this is from Superdrug's own. So it's vitamin C, invigorating skin booster. Actually, it's a booster for your skin. JD Ubani, where can I buy? Do you mean the eyeshadow palette or do you mean the skincare I've just chosen? The eyeshadow palette, if you're looking for Natasha Denona, that was on Cult Beauty for £24, and it's her 5 pan palette. If you're looking for, I did mention before my Nivea Day Cream, and that was Superdrug. So if you let me know which one you're talking about, I'll be able to let you know. The final thing I just showed you before we went ahead was the vitamin C detox skincare booster, skin booster, and that's Superdrug as well. When will we change? Hi, thank you for joining. When will we change? So if you've never been to my channel before or you're on the stream at the minute, my name is Kira. If you have a look at my profile, I do mental health videos. The latest one was up yesterday. I also do beauty and smoothie reviews, things like that. So if you're interested in skin and health and mental health, do take a look at the channel. So today, if you're interested to stay on the stream, we're going to be doing some skincare, and I'm going to be doing a look with the Natasha Denona Mini Rose Palette. So yes, Jide Ubani, where can I buy? So if you let me know which one it was, Jide, the Natasha Denona palette, if this is what you were talking about, is £24 on Cult Beauty. So I'm going to go in now with the Vitamin C Detox Skincare. Again, I can't see the way the camera is altered, and I will try that. I battled through 50 tarot card readers to get here. What does that mean? I like tarot card readers. I'm really into things like that. I love things like that, tarot card readings and things like that. That's definitely my thing. Um, I battled through 50 tarot card readers to get here. Okay. So what we're going to do is, this has a little sifter here, and you just literally, like a droplet, you pop it on your skin. And anything with vitamin C, guys, is with your skin, particularly if it's a serum or an oil, is really, really going to help you. So what I'm going to do is just drop it on the skin here. I just have a mirror in front of me. Okay, I can see that emoji, which means I may have not got what you meant. I don't know if that's something. Make that 51. Okay. I don't know what you mean, but if you explain what you mean. um, you battled through 51 tarot card readings to get here. Okay. Um, hey Jadas, thank you for coming onto the live today. So you can see, guys, anytime I do put anything on, the redness does calm down, but initially I do have like redness. So yes, so that's going to soak into the skin. I'm then going to go in with my nourishing gel moisturizer before we put on the SPF 15. Now I would suggest minimum, if you're going outside with SPF, go minimum SPF 30. Hey Jados, oh Black Ice, Fauzi Mohammed said hi Fauzi, Ali Ninja 13. Good morning. Good morning where you are. In the UK, it's 2 o'clock. Just started the live, 2 o'clock. Jadus Blackos, when will we change? What's the best thing for protecting yourself from the sun? A really, really high SPF. The highest SPF you can get is 100, but it depends where you live. Extremely high SPF, and it kind of what people sometimes think of is they think, okay, I'll use the SPF in the summer and I'll be fine. Actually, in the winter and the UVA rays and everything like that, it's really important. So basically just protection against the sun or the environment. So that would be the best way to protect yourself from the sun, is get the highest SPF you can. Jadas, what, I'm from New Zealand. I'm originally from Ireland, but I live in England, but originally I'm from Ireland. Jados, we use 60. Yeah, that's really good. A high one is really good. I've never used 100. I think the highest I've used is 50. But you can get 100. I think somebody told me on my other live the other day, they were from America, and they said they found a SPF 100, and they lived in Florida. So that was interesting. I haven't ever found SPF 100 in England, but you can get it, I think. The highest I've ever had is SPF 50. When will we change? Oh, you're supposed to use it all year round. Absolutely, because kind of if you think about the wind, the rain, everything like that still affects your skin. And so UVA rays, anything like that. Also, guys, the sun can actually still come through the clouds and damage your skin, even though that might sound unusual. It absolutely can. Yes, when will we change? Does SPF 100 stop you from getting a tan? I would say most probably yes, depending on how long you stay out. If you stay out the whole day, it'll probably give you a tan but protect you from getting burnt. But what I would say is reapply it if you're somewhere that it's constantly very warm. Because you don't want to kind of risk your health or anything like that. I would reapply it if it's a very sunny day or you live in a warm climate. It's not going to stop you from getting a tan, but it will stop you from burning. When will we change? I do enjoy tanning. Yeah, it's nice to have a good tan, I think. It makes you look healthier, makes you look a bit more confident, feel more confident, really. I prefer a tan. I haven't tanned in quite a long time. But yeah, do kind of protect yourself. I know some people go to sunbeds as well, which I think are really dangerous. And they kind of lather up on their body with SPF, and then they kind of go into a sunbed for 15 minutes or 20, which is direct sun onto your body, which I think is a little bit unsafe. Jada's Blackhouse, New Zealand has the highest rating for skin cancer because the weather and the ozone layer. Absolutely. And if you don't use enough SPF, or like I was saying, the tanning beds, that increases your risk of cancer. Absolutely, skin cancer for sure. So just really, it's, I suppose, just do use that SPF 100 if you're in a really, really high climate, 100 if you have extremely pale skin, or if you are like every day and kind of sometimes like in England we'll have sunny days and the next week it might rain. So I'm generally SPF 30 to 50. Um, stop sunbeds years ago. They are very dangerous. They used to be like a trend, didn't there, years ago that everybody used to use them. But I think they're very, very dangerous. So yeah, I personally would never do it. I do know people that have done it in the past, but you can, if you're increasing your risk of getting skin cancer, so that's not a good thing. So what I'm going to do is, but they are dangerous, you're right. We're going to just pop on this SPF 15. Now, I know I've been just mentioning really high SPFs, but I'm not actually going outside today because I've just come back from work where I've been out. Now I'm in and I'm kind of doing this live with you guys. I'm not going to go outside. So I am using this moisturizer skin cream for dry sensitive skin, and it does have an SPF 15. However, if I was going to go out, I would put SPF underneath this, a higher SPF. But yeah, sunbeds are dangerous, absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a little bit here. If you can get foundations or BB creams, anything like that, guys, with an SPF, it's really going to protect you're going to double up on skincare. So yes, do take a look at the channel, guys. My most recent video was on mental health, and before that I did a couple of looks with an eyeshadow palette I was sent. Um, Everything isn't about makeup, guys. I understand that, but the lives are only quite recent. I was requested to do lives. This is probably my 14th live. So if you look back on the lives, I'm quite new to them, but it was a request, and I do actually prefer doing lives because you get to interact with my job. I don't really have kind of this huge social kind of scene because as a support worker, I work nights and days. And so starting doing the lives has been really nice to kind of chat to people and get to know the subscribers and things as well, which is good. But SPF, guys, when will we change? Lives are good to make your channel grow. Absolutely. And I just love kind of chatting. I'm quite a chatty person, so it's nice to kind of be able to do this when I can. Hi, John Franklin. So we've kind of just set the skin now, guys. We've done our moisturizer, our serums, and what we're going to do is just set on a primer. So if you don't know what a primer is for makeup, a primer just keeps the foundation on throughout the day. Obviously, do have a setting spray as well because afterwards everything sets, but a primer will keep your foundation, everything on, BB creams, anything you want. But yes, it's great to kind of chat to people and kind of get to know. Obviously, from Ireland, my friends all kind of when we went our own ways when we went to uni. Some people went to uni abroad, university. I mean, when I say uni, and so we all went different ways. And then I studied in England, so it's nice to kind of meet people and chat to them. So that's what this is, and I'll show you on screen. Rimmel Fix and Perfect Primer. So it lasts about 7 or 8 hours on your skin before you put any makeup on. Preppy Girl, hi, Preppy Girl, how are you? John Franklin, just want to say you look amazing, Queen. Oh, thank you. I'm just after coming off an overnight and a full day, which is like looking after patients. So I don't feel amazing, but thank you. That's made me feel it's made me feel good today. So all this is the Rimmel Primer, Fix and Perfect, and this keeps on your foundation for the rest of the day. How are you doing, Preppy Girl? What are you doing today? What is everybody doing today? Again, I can't see how many people are on, but I can see how many people have liked it. So thank you, 6 people so far. Again, I'm very, very new to lives, but I'll keep going. I was requested in February to start them. Preppy Girl, do you have any scrunch bum leggings? No, I don't. So now that that's kind of set in, I still do have my water here because even though it's cooled down in England, the weather, it is still, I'm finding it's still quite warm. We had a thunderstorm here today too. It's quite humid still. Okay, so I'm going to go in, we're going to start with the foundation. And the foundation is Skin Silk Revolution. Now they don't have names, it's more like, numbers. So I'm F5, so I think that might be beige. Yes, when will we change? A very loud thunderstorm today. Are you in the UK too? There was a thunderstorm today, and it was didn't last very long, but it was very loud. So we're just going to Pop this on. It has a pump too. So this is from Revolution. This is their Skin Silk Illuminating Serum Foundation. Again, it's got skincare in it. Any foundation or BB cream with skincare is going to really help. Okay. Preppy Girl 123. It really lifts your bum. I've seen a couple of people in the gym. I think I know what kind of leggings you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen some people in the gym wear them, but I don't have them. No, I don't. When will we change? Yeah, I'm in London. So you must have had the storm as well. So I'm just dotting this on, guys. If I have to tie my hair up, I will. I didn't want to, but it's always tied up for work, guys, because it's just it's better, and kind of with the job I do is kind of quite busy. So I usually have it tied up. So it's nice to just keep it down for a while. Yeah. I've been to London to see a play. A couple of years ago I saw Moulin Rouge with my friends, and I saw in the theatre Mamma Mia. But I haven't really spent proper amount of time in London really. Okay, so I'm just going to spray this. This is the Real Techniques foundation brush. Last year I recorded a tornado and it made it on the news. No way. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Wow. That's amazing. I didn't see it now. When will we change? But I'd be interested. Oh my goodness. So all I'm doing is kind of wetting the, spraying it with the brush just to kind of wet it a bit. That sounds amazing. Hi, hi. Your username is hi. I think I recognize your photo though, for some reason. But yes, preppy girl. I have seen people in the gym, girls in the gym wear those, and it kind of gives you like a nice figure. I know Kim Kardashian's line of clothing and Khloe Kardashian, they do something similar, don't they? So I think I know what you mean, but no, I don't have them at the minute. Um, Jacob, hi, how are you? Okay, so usually I do Monday lives UK time at 8 p.m. But because I'm relatively new to lives, I'm kind of just testing the algorithm. And so I'm going to start doing it's obviously Sunday today. I'll do 2 p.m. UK time, and then Wednesdays I do 12 p.m. UK time because that's when I'm not working. I kind of do night shifts on and off. And they should do makeup like in the 1980s, the old day. It is lovely. Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? They didn't focus so much on it's me. He was Demon Child. Yes, because you subscribed the other day and it was amazing. I subscribed back. But did you change your username for some reason for your channel? Um, yeah, I subscribed back, Demon Child, I think when you it's me. He was Demon Child. Does that mean your channel was or that it's somebody else? But I think I did subscribe back. I remember that. I like to support other channels too. So if you're subscribing or you have a look at my profile after this and you like what you see, absolutely, guys. I love to kind of subscribe to other people too and find out what they do. And it's just interesting, isn't it? Particularly if you don't have like if you're within work or college or uni, or you just don't have a massive circle of support around you. I think it's really nice to come on and do something like this because then you kind of continue kind of conversations. And if you look back on some of the lives, the conversations have been, yes, we've been doing makeup, but there's been so many different kind of interesting ways conversations have gone. So it's quite nice, I think, particularly if you don't have that outlet, other places too. So yes, we do makeup here, but I also kind of chat about anything anyone wants to chat about. It's me. He was Demon Child. Okay. He went from Demon Child to hi. I get it. Yeah, sorry. It's when he said it's me, he did. I thought like he is in somebody else, but no, I understand now. I understand. Okay, so that's just one coat of the Revolution Skin Silk Luminous Serum. So again, serum, it has got um, skincare in there. Mine is in F5. So again, I will say if you're looking for because obviously it's not very kind of obvious from the bottle what the color is. They usually have testers, like I've said before, in kind of Superdrug or Walmart or wherever you go. If they don't, I would ask kind of somebody in the store to help you because it's really difficult to kind of, yes, you can see the color, but it's hard to color match. Or if there's a tester, just kind of test it along the jawline, and whichever color kind of fits into your skin naturally, that's your color basically. So that's what I would do. So what I'll do is I'm going to go straight in with the color corrector from Maybelline. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know I use this. I'm nearly finished. But yeah, I love coming on, guys, and just talking. I used to be in teaching and childcare, and now I work with people with Down syndrome, autism, and young adults, a lot older, not in school anymore, and dementia. So it's a different kind of job. It's definitely tiring. Um, and but it's actually rewarding. It's rewarding as well at the same time. So if you're wondering why I'm just going under these areas and not everywhere else for a concealer, I actually use it as a color corrector. You can get it in green too, but I have redness, and this color peach seems to help. There is a green one, but this one kind of seems to help. So it's called Maybelline Eraser Multi-Use Concealer, and you can see how far I have gotten with it, like probably one use left. So yes, I'm only going to put that much on because we are going to go in with the Rimmel Multitask Concealer. My name is actually Alfie in real life. That's a really nice name. You should have that as your normal, unless you don't want to for privacy reasons, obviously, as your channel name. I often wondered when I started this channel, should I have it as Kira, which is my name, but then I just decided people can probably find me easier. It's probably more relatable. But no, I understand. Some people just don't want to put their name on their channel, which I totally understand. Um, but yes. Oh, it doesn't let you. Sometimes that will happen if somebody's already taken that name. I found that on Instagram as well, and I found that on TikTok. I'm very recent to TikTok. It is down below, but you'll see there's probably only about 10 or 11 photos. I'm super kind of new to it. But I found if somebody else has taken it, you kind of have to put either numbers beside it. So like you could put Alfie 11 or Alfie 123 because somebody has probably just taken the username Alfie. I don't know if that's how they work it. I'm not sure. So this is the Rimmel Multitasker multi-use concealer. I think it is a dupe for, and I always say that when I'm on Tarte Shape Tape. Um, Preppy Girl 123. No, I don't. No. Um, I don't. But my job is kind of quite intense. But that's not to, it's not to say that I don't want to, but I don't, not as of yet, no. Okay, so again, I'm just going around in various areas where I will try to put my name Alfie 12345. Yes, because most people will kind of just take note of the Alfie, and they'll probably know why you put the 12345. It's particularly if they've been on YouTube for a while. They might, they'll know that you obviously can't just have Alfie because somebody else has. They probably understand being on YouTube that it's not something you can just take if somebody else has it. So that's going to just be rubbed in with my beauty blender from Shein. They're really good value, guys. If you know Shein, so I'm just going to take my hair out of the way. But yeah, and then people will kind of, it'll probably draw people in more as well because Alfie want to, that they're going to kind of be drawn into that, aren't they? So yeah, I'm just dabbing this. I'm not going to drag the eye in anyway. So what are people doing for the summer? If you're finished school yet, I know in the UK, they've only got 3 weeks left of school and then they're finished for the summer. I know some people in America don't start their exams until like September, October time. So even though they have a summer holiday as such, they don't, I mean, they're going to have to be studying over the summer, aren't they? Because their exams don't start till like October. So it just depends where you are, I guess. Um, is anybody going on holiday? It's calmed down now, guys, but I'm not kidding you. About 10 minutes before I went live, there was thunder, and I thought everyone's going to hear it on the live. But actually, outside now, I can see out my window. It's really sunny. Um, totally different to how it was a few minutes ago. Okay, just being super careful under the eyes and things like that. But yeah, Alfie, that's a good idea because you can then just have it like a bit more personal to you. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just brush away any excess now. I don't want to pull my skin too much with the sponge. So all I'm going to do is kind of brush away the excess that we have and start to set everything. So I'm going to set the face with the Rimmel Transparent 001. And then I'm going to set the under eyes with the Revolution Rose, which I've been using a lot. And this is just their pink baking powder, and I'm going to set the under eye with that. So we're going to use the same foundation brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just going to, I'm doing really well with this. So yeah, I'm hitting pan on this one for sure. And I'm just going to look in the mirror and just not drag the skin, just kind of pat it along. Hi, I can't find them. Can you find a name for me, please? Do you mean that's already taken? What you could do, Alfie, is put Alfie and then just put your date of birth. Nobody would probably understand it, but at least it's very personal to you. So say it was like the 10th of May, you could put 1005, say 93, and so you could kind of put your date of birth there. Nobody would know what it is, but at least you know it's specific to you. That would be something you could do. Okay, so you can see I do suffer from redness under my skin, and it's never really gone, particularly in the T-zone area. So I do try to do a lot of my skincare on kind of the lives with you, so you can see what I use. But let me know if that works, Alfie. Your kind of date of birth after your name, that might help, because that's really unique. Not a lot of people would have that. So okay, so what I'm going to do is just set the under eyes now with the Revolution Super Matte Fix, and it's in pink. You can get the banana powder too, but I think the pink kind of really helps under the eyes. I have seen people use it all over their skin, but I like just to kind of set it under the eyes with my little triangle puff here as well. Okay. So I'll just show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like in the little sifter. I can't do it because I need to wait for 20. Oh, so you've recently changed from Demon Child to Highs, so that must have been quite recent. So then I understand they kind of have this thing where you have to wait for a day or something. Yes, you might be able to do it during, maybe tomorrow or the day after, but I would think it's very rare for anybody else to have that username if you choose your date of birth after Alfie. I think that might be good, because what do you do on your channel, Alfie? Are you a content creator? So this is what it looks like, and we're just going to pat it under the skin like that, and it'll just set the eye concealer that we did. And it doesn't take too long, but it does stay. If you see, it has kind of made my kind of skin a little bit more kind of blushed, which gives it a bit more of a natural look, not as pale, but it's also set, the powder has set the concealer as well. That's what we're doing here. You do gaming. Okay, well, that's good. That's really popular. You get to talk to people online when you do games as well, so that's quite good. Okay, so I think that's kind of set everything. I'm just going to brush everything away with like just a buffing brush. I'm going to put the lid back on the concealer so it doesn't dry out. What kind of games do you do? Preppy girl, if you're still here, where did you get your leggings from? Because they do sound good. They sound interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to get a powder brush here, clean powder brush, and I'm just going to buff everything away. We're going to go in with the W7. I switched up my bronzing drops. I'm really sure I did. If I did, yes. Did I? Or did I go back in? I went back into Drunk Elephant. So, okay. This is the anti-pollution sunshine drops from Drunk Elephant. Now, I always say there's so many dupes. Last week I used the Revolution. I think 2 weeks before that I used W7. What I mean is that there are dupes out there, as in kind of a lower end option rather than kind of buying the higher end. So this is what it looks like. You can get it on Cult Beauty or Sephora. Drunk Elephant do skincare as well, but these are the bronzing drops. Antonio Macy B. Okay. My gosh, hit 50 subscribers to do live, Shreves. How many subscribers do you have? Stubble Guys, Roblox, and Call of Duty. Yeah, I know all of those. Well, that's pretty good. So how many subscribers do you have? You can kind of promote yourself in the comments if you want to, because I'm all about promoting other channels as well. So anybody that looks at this that might be into gaming can then look at your channel. So this is what it looks like. They're just drops. So what I do is I warm them up on my hand like that. This is what they look like. And all I do is kind of dot it around where the sun would naturally hit your face. So kind of the forehead and kind of the contour area. And then whatever's remaining, I put under the chin. So there you go. You can see it's just where the sun would naturally hit your face. Hi, you've got 8 subscribers. Well, guys, if anyone can see, hi, and you're into gaming, Roblox, Call of Duty, have a look at his channel. So what I'm going to do is go in with my Real Techniques contour brush. Going to give that a spray. Yeah, just promote your channel. If you have any other form of social media, just at the top of your whatever you're looking at, if it's either you're looking at your channel from your phone or your computer, if you've got either social media, just click the share button and pop it in your comments, say on Facebook or TikTok, and then you can tell people to go to the channel, and that's kind of a good way to promote yourself. So all I'm doing is gently rubbing that in, making sure that it's going back into the hairline. And then what we'll do is we'll buff that out with a buffing brush to make it look a little bit more natural. But yeah, that will be something you could do. I'm hoping everyone can see or is able to comment. The last time I went on, specifically at a certain time, and a lot of people watched and then put in my posts afterwards that they couldn't comment. So I'm hoping everyone's able to comment today. If there's anybody else on, I can't see the numbers just to where the camera, the lights are, but I can always look afterwards. So all I'm going to do is buff that out with my foundation brush just to take away the harshness, and then we're going to go over that with Wet n Wild Tea Anyone, which is the Alice in Wonderland collection. So I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney. My first ever Disney film, I think, was The Little Mermaid. When I was little, that was the first thing I went to see in the cinema. And then in '93, the first Jurassic Park came out as a kid, and I went to see that with my brother. So yeah, then I became like a Jurassic Park fanatic. And then just last week or the week before, the newest Jurassic Park actors had their big kind of London opening, the cinema, and like they were there, all the celebrities were there. So there is another one. There is a new Jurassic Park, I think. But I think I'm always going to be a kid when it comes to things like that. I love it. Everybody has a film, you know. But yeah, my first Disney film was The Little Mermaid. I know, random piece of information for people. Cliff McCormick, hi, beautiful. Hi, Cliff. I'm going to tell you how many years I got right now in total. 7.7K. How many years you have? Do you mean how many? Well, if you've got 8 subscribers, what do you mean? Sorry, how many years? Okay, so as you can see, it kind of looks natural. When it did go on at first, I know it looked a little bit patchy, but once you kind of blend it in, it seems it's not too bad. And I'm not going to go overboard either. So that's it. So guys, if you do like my, mental health videos, I often talk about that. My most recent one was yesterday. I do reviews too. I get sent things too, as well as purchasing my own. And I do kind of a lot of now, I do a lot of kind of skincare as well. You meant views. Oh, wow. Well, that's good. So your views are 7.7K, but you've got 8 subscribers. I wonder if you should do shorts, because they seem to come up really, quick. If somebody searches something, do you do shorts at all? Because they're quite popular, as well as lives and videos. Shorts seem to be really, really popular on YouTube. A bit like how reels are really popular on Instagram. So do you try and do shorts? Because views, 7.7K views is quite good. So shorts might be a good way to go. So what I'm going to do is just set the bronzer with the Wet n Wild Tea Anyone. And this is what it looks like. So you do get a little highlight as well. Wet n Wild are a really affordable brand as well, guys. So it's not anything that would break the bank. So you get a lot of colors here. So you get a dark and a light bronzer, and then you get 2 highlights. So you can either swirl the brush around and get a really kind of glowy bronze, or if you want more of a daytime look, you can just go into this kind of matte brown, or the darker one here. So they're the two, but these are highlights. So just be aware if you kind of swirl the brush around, it's going to be glowy. I meant views. Yes, I do shorts. And what are your short views like? Are they, so is this your video views that are 7.7K, or is it your shorts? Guys, if there's anybody else in the comments, I just keep saying to comment. You don't have to, but the only reason I'm saying it is that I did get kind of feedback on my last live that people were saying, Kira, I was trying to comment and my message was having an error message. So I checked my end of things and everything looked okay. So I'm just hoping that, you know, other people can comment as well. So all I'm going to do, I am going to swirl the brush around because the Natasha Denona, it is kind of a glittery palette. You want I do, so I don't mind kind of having that extra glitter. Hi. Um, Wow. So, I mean, it's unusual if you have all of those views to the subscribers. That's a good. Well, then for that reason, what I would do if that was me is I'd start to kind of promote it on my other on my other kind of social media. So if you've got Facebook or TikTok, that might help the subscriber section, you know. So what I'm going to do is continue with the contour brush, and I'm going to just swirl around, including the highlight this time. And we're just going to dab around the areas where the sun naturally hits your face. But I'm finding, guys, coming from a primary school setting, when I was the manager of the after school, there was a lot of kind of um time for me to be able to be a bit more flexible and free in what I did. And I think staff in a primary school are a bit more kind of relaxed, and there's not as many kind of massive personalities. And I think I mentioned this in my last video. Um, Whereas now in support work, I enjoy the job, really do. But there's so many different personalities that all come together at times, and it's kind of it can be kind of if you're not used to it, it can be kind of overwhelming. And I don't know about you, but I'm somebody that once you get to know me, I'm very, very chatty, but you know, it takes a while for me. And I think that's just from childhood. It does take a while for me to kind of get to know people and things like that, you know. I also do chicken videos. Okay, when you say chicken videos, what do you mean? So I've just blended that in, guys, just so it looks a little bit more natural. I know it came off a little bit intense at the beginning, but that's why I love kind of the buffing brushes. This is from DJS Beauty. I'll just let you see it there, the family. And they are in Illinois, and they do eyeshadow palettes and they create their own foundations. So, and their brushes are amazing, guys. So that I would absolutely, definitely take a look at DJS Beauty. Okay, so that's kind of that. I want to show you the blush. This is what it looks like. Again, I got them together as a set. So this is the bronzer we just used, including the highlight. We're going to go in with the blush now, and this is Talk to the Flowers. So we're going to do that. But I really wanted to come on and start doing these lives more regularly because I love longer form content. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it, and I've done it for so long. But when I was actually, it never crossed my mind, guys, to do live videos until I was requested by one of my subscribers to do it. And then when I kind of started doing it, it was nice to kind of chat to people. Now, don't get me wrong, you do get some people in lives, and it's not always kind of, you know, going to be, you just get people that come in, you know, for various reasons. They may not want to look at makeup tutorials, but that's just who, you know, that's what they do. I show my chickens to everybody. Okay. I can't at the minute because I'm on a live, but yes, take a look. It should be. I know I did before. Does that mean I did to Demon Child, so does that mean that I have to resubscribe? I'm not quite sure. But yes, when I think the last live we were on afterwards, I did subscribe. But so you should see me there. Yeah, you should definitely see me. And if not, if something's happened where you've recreated a profile or something like that, obviously I'm on a live now, so I can't do it. But I'll obviously kind of, if you're subscribed to me, I'll be able to see in my subscribers, and then I can click on the channel. So I can do that. So this is what it looks like. Again, you get a highlight as well. Okay, I'm really hoping other people can comment because these are lives that are kind of set for people that said that it suited them as well. So that's good too. But if you are new looking at this, guys, my name is Kira. I do makeup artistry. Used to do freelance when I was younger. I don't do it so much now. I work in support work, but I love coming on and doing makeup. Recent to lives, as I said before, this is probably my 14th live. But I do love kind of reviewing products, but also, as I said before, I do a lot of mental health. I think I've made smoothies in the past with you guys before. So if you look at the playlist, if there's something you enjoy, absolutely consider subscribing. So again, because this is a very glowy kind of palette, I am going to go around and swirl the brush in all of these colors. But again, guys, if you're wondering what does this color look like on its own, this is the fairest pink. Okay, and then this is the berry pink. If I show you this, this is super dark. So yeah, and then you've obviously got the highlight. You're welcome. So did you see that I did? So yeah, I did. When you subscribed to me, I then kind of looked at your channel and I did subscribe to you for sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just get my cheeks blush brush, and all we're going to, you're welcome. And hopefully you get to change your name, because I think people will see that then and know that you're kind of, you know, it's more personable, isn't it? I think I used to have my channel when I first started it was something like Beauty 1020 or something, and then I ended up changing it to Kira and my surname because it felt more personal and, you know, for me. So all I'm doing is I swirl the brush in all of that, guys. And again, photos will be in natural lighting. And as I turn, you can see it certainly is showing the highlight that I put there. If I show you there, look at that highlight, guys, as you turn. So we can again, and it hasn't affected the contour in any way. So I'm going to swirl the brush around again. You're watching on your phone. Yeah, I'm using my phone for this. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then what I'll do is just go in with a blender brush, and we will just blend that out so it kind of isn't as intense. If you're kind of comfortable with this intensity, absolutely. So what I'm going to do, you're watching on your phone, okay. So what I'm going to do is just blend that out with a clean blending brush, just to kind of blend it into the skin, calm down the color a bit. And now what I'm going to do is improvise my brows. And what I mean is that I have run out of my, actually, have I? I used to have She Glam, and it was the liquid brow pencil, and I think I may have run out of it, but we're going to check. I think there's probably the tiniest bit left in this, but with my hours and stuff like that, it's been hard to kind of try and get to Superdrug. I don't really want to keep depending on online because I'm never there to get the package. Yes, you're the only person who's watching the stream, so I did press it to public, but who knows what's happened. Every time I do a live, people keep commenting afterwards saying they haven't been able to see it, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. I have set everything to public visibility wise, so I will have a look at that. I'll take a look at that afterwards, but thank you for letting me know. Okay, so that is just the She Glam liquid eyebrow pencil, and I think I've definitely gotten the last of what I can do. But do tap or do comment if you're watching this on replay. I checked all my settings because some people said this time suits them, so this is why I'm on, because people said they can make this live. So that's what the subscribers had said. But if you're the only one, obviously the only thing I can think of happening is that they're not getting notified, which is what they said in my last live. So I'm not quite sure. Preppy Girl was on, and she's on sometimes. So yes, okay. What we're going to do before we do the eyeshadow is I'm going to just set everything with the NYX Elf Gripping Primer. And this is a mist. I'm just going to give that a shake before we do the eyeshadow. And then I'm just going to go in with my Profusion. And this is just a eyeshadow base. It was planned, guys, so it's unusual. It's unusual for other people not to be on But what concerns me slightly is that I was talking to one of my subscribers during my last live, and I got a comment afterwards. She said, "All of a sudden, Kira, it stopped me allowing to comment on your live." So that was concerning. And then another person said, even though I'm subscribed to you, I didn't get my notification. So I'm really, so the thing that concerned me is that how was that person being stopped to comment? So yeah, I'm really going to have to look into it. Um, yes, I do. But I met a lot of my friends later in life. So I've got a very, very good friend from my previous job. Her name is Sophie, and we see each other every week. Um, and we go out when we can. She's pretty busy, I'm pretty busy, so we set a certain day every week to go out and meet each other, and we do. And it's just lovely to chat to her. I've got friends back home in Ireland that I keep in contact with really regularly. So yes, I do. What about you? Do you have many friends? But again, in school, I think it was very different for me, and I'm finding now as I get older, I'm definitely getting kind of that friend circle. Um, Okay, so all I'm doing is priming the eyes with the Profusion eye primer. Um, you can get, it's a pigment base and it's white, but you can get it in skin tone. This is the white version. I like to see the white because then you can see exactly where the eyeshadow is going. But yes, I do have, friends that I'm very appreciative of. And I think life just gets a bit better sometimes. How to comment. If you're referring to the last time, I was in the middle of a conversation with somebody and then I thought they just left. But they told me afterwards, Kira, I kept trying to comment and nothing, it wasn't allowing me. There was an error message coming up. So I don't know how that happened. It was a shame, really, because like we couldn't continue the conversation. So for example, say you and I started to talk like this and all of a sudden you just stopped being able to, there was an error message. That's what happened basically. And they weren't able to comment for the rest of the live. And because I couldn't see how many people were on, I just presumed that they had left the live or maybe they were busy, but actually they were on the live but just couldn't comment. So it might have been a glitch, I don't know. But that's kind of what happened the last time. So now that that's kind of tacky and ready to go, we're going to go in with the Natasha Denona, and this is her mini rose palette. So we're going to use this kind of brown here today as well. So what I'm going to do is start off on the inner corner of the eye with the glitter here, and this is called Opart. I think it was a glitch. I hope so, really, because it was quite frustrating for them because we were in the middle of a conversation, and every time they pressed submit or just tried to comment, it was coming up with an error message for them. And then other people were saying, did you not go live? I didn't get a notification, and I had gone live. They just didn't get the notification, but they were subscribed. So it's I'm just trying to figure out because I'm super new to lives, that everything on my end is kind of is set. So yeah. So I'm just using the O part on the inner corner of the eyes because I have kind of slightly hooded eyes. If I use a nicer kind of brighter color, it kind of opens up the eyes again a little bit, makes them look bigger than they actually are. Okay, because the only color we haven't used, I've done 3 looks with this on two different lives, and this will be the third and final look, but we never used this cool toned matte brown, and that's what we're going to do. So hopefully it was a glitch, like you say, but we'll see. Um, okay, so I think that is probably going to be the extent on the lid. And what I might do just to open up the eyes a bit more is put it in the corners so it kind of just opens up the eyes and makes it kind of pop a bit more. But I used to do makeup artistry, and I used to do weddings and things like that. But then kind of life took over, and I kind of went more into teaching and mainstream. I think makeup artistry is quite seasonal, so you don't always, it's not a full-time all-around job unless you work for somebody or you work for a makeup brand. It can be quite overwhelming when you're a freelancer if this is your only source of income because, like I said, it can be Jean Bismu. Hi, just joined. Hi. Thank you for joining. We were just hoping. I was saying to Hi that the last time there was glitches with people trying to comment, so they were on the live and we were in the middle of a conversation, and I just thought they'd left only because where my light is I can't see who's on. But I think it was a glitch. That's what we were just saying. So hi Jean, thank you for that. So what we've just used in the corner, guys, is the Natasha Denona mini rose palette, and I've used Opart. This is the color Opart. Now what I'm going to try and do is go into the crease, and this is with Golden Nude, this one right here. Okay, great that you can comment though. I did say in my last live, my friend has gotten us tickets, and I'm from Ireland, obviously, so you may not know this. This kind of, they're not a band as such, they're like a group of dancers, River Dance. So that's like professional Irish dancers, and they're celebrating like 30 years. Um, um, oh, you're in Ireland. Amazing. Well, because I live in Oxford now, I'm from Dublin. Um, Riverdance as a group. I think Michael Flatley might not be in it, but he's definitely directing it. And Michael Flatley, if people don't know, was the original Irish dancer. And he's actually directing this. And I think it's a 3 hour show, and it's 30. They're celebrating 30 years of Riverdance, basically. I think they're touring Ireland, but they're also touring the UK. It's not until September in the Oxford Theatre, but we got balcony seats, which is amazing. So I obviously did it as a child in school. I think most of us did from Ireland. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it because I remember as a kid looking at Michael Flatley, with my family on TV. Never saw them before, in a live. Never thought I would. And then I saw it advertised, and me and my friend are going to see them in September. So that will be quite good. Um, Hi, you live in England, and Jean Edenderry. Oh wow. I've never been there before. How are you finding it there? So this is going to be what we're going to just use in the crease, just to separate the crease. Now, I always go a bit higher, only because I do have slightly hooded eyes. So if anyone's just joined, this palette is the mini rose palette from Natasha Denona. It's available on Cult Beauty and Look Fantastic. And I have in the corner of my eyes, it is Opart in the inner corners, and we're now going to go into Golden Rose. Hi, I don't really like your summer. Oh, okay. My summer. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think Michael Flatley, I think it said in the intro, he might kind of come on for the first 10 minutes, and I think he might, I'm not sure if he's going to actually just talk about it or what's about to happen, or if he does actually. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. That's fine. So he might talk about it, and then like all the dancers come on. But no, it'll be interesting to see, particularly for Sophie to see, because she's from the UK and we met maybe 7 years ago. So I think it's nice for her to see some of like my culture as well. So that'll be interesting. So what we're going to do is get the e.l.f. buffing brush and the eyebrow brush, and it's a really nice fluffy brush. And I usually use that for not for contouring as such, but just kind of going above the crease there. But yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be really nice. I usually go back to Ireland 2 or 3 times a year. My mum lives in Wexford, in the centre. She used to live in Castlebridge, and now she lives kind of in the centre of Wexford. So she's quite close to theatres and things like that. I'm going to have to take a drink in a minute, guys. I think I've been talking. Bye, hi. Thank you very much for for chatting today. I know it's going on about 53 minutes now. Again, this was kind of a planned live, so for subscribers at this particular time. But again, it's all the algorithm too. It's just checking the algorithm, isn't it? And seeing kind of what works for everybody. So this is kind of it says kind of the color. The name is Golden Rose, but I think it's more of a like light purple. I will see you in 1 hour. Okay, well, I don't know if I'll still be on in an hour, but you can always do replay. Always do replay. So you can see the reason I bring it up slightly higher is just because I do have hooded eyes. So if I focused right in the inner corners and then kind of naturally open my eyes, you're not going to see the colors. So that's what I do personally for me. Okay, and we're just going to go on the other side. You'll be back in 1 hour. Okay. Again, I might not be on in an hour, but you're always welcome to look at the replay, Okay. But yes, if anyone is going on holiday or doing anything special this summer, let me know. Okay. And if you are just joining, I do kind of mental health videos. I also do lives, obviously doing makeup, but I also review products. And I did used to do a lot of green smoothies, and I am going to kind of jump back on and do things like that. I really want to kind of start my diet again. Okay, so that's actually quite nice, guys. And what I found is that it looks deeper color in the pan, but when it's actually on your eyes, it comes off a lot lighter. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into the inner corners with the lightest color, flamingo. I don't think you need makeup. Everyone is beautiful the way they are. My mommy told me that, so I don't really wear makeup. But if it's your decision, you can, of course. Oh, I don't think anybody needs makeup. Absolutely not. I 100% agree with you. This is just something, I guess, for me, I find therapeutic. I will say when I go to work, Jean, I don't wear any makeup. When I see friends, only if we're going out, I don't really wear makeup. So I totally get what you mean. I think for me, this is kind of just like therapeutic and I enjoy it. But in everyday sense, going to work or if I was, I actually don't wear makeup. And I think I've said that on lives before. So I think your mum was right. Yeah, everyone's beautiful in their own way. Um, Absolutely. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just popping that flamingo again in the inner corners of the eye to make them pop. You've been fat shamed before. I'm so sorry. You know I am. I'm really sorry because they nobody has the right to do that to you. Absolutely nobody, because nobody knows what goes on in your life to for that. You could have that could have caused anything. That could be however what weight you are is your business and it's for you alone. And I don't think people have the right to kind of judge people. I really don't. So I don't I'm really sorry that happened to you. I don't believe that people should bully other people for that reason because no one in life has the absolute perfect life. They don't. And nobody knows what you've been through, really, do they? Nobody knows people's struggles. So, yeah, no, I absolutely can imagine that wasn't very positive for you to feel or hear. So I am sorry about that. So the only color, just getting back to this, is this matte to cool toned brown, which is called psychedelic. I don't usually go for cool toned browns, but it's the only color in the palette I haven't used. It kind of scares me slightly. I'm not really somebody into deep, deep, deep colors. It's very brown. So we're going to do it today. But I'm really sorry, Jean, because, I had, when I was younger in school, very, very, very bad acne. And yeah, I get when somebody sees something that's different, and what kids can do is they just hone in on somebody who's different and then they just kind of make a big thing about it. And it's not I know it's not the same thing, but it can be very, make you feel depressed and down. So your mom is right. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. And what you find is that if you just be yourself, you eventually find the people you're supposed to be around. I know that sounds, if you're younger, the minute if you're in school, that probably sounds light years away. But you do find eventually people that, may not, maybe not now, but you do kind of, particularly now that people are online more, aren't they? You get more communication, more instant communication. That can be good and that can be bad. I understand that because, people can go to different things, but you will find eventually, the people that you're meant to be with, because that's what life's about. Nobody should judge somebody else because we don't know what they're going through. So I totally agree with your mum. Yeah, you are definitely beautiful the way you are, and I just kind of like this just to express myself. It wouldn't be something I would go to work in, for example. Absolutely not. So this is the color, guys. Let's have a look. It's very, very kind of cool toned, isn't it? So this is called psychedelic. And let's have a look. So that's brown. Let's do a swatch. That's a deep color. So I'm going to go super light, and I'm actually going to use my finger right at the end, and then we might just blend it up slightly. But I'm not going to go in like with a fluffy brush and start to go all over the eyes with it because that just won't look good. So what we're going to do is just get a little bit. I'm going to look in the mirror and just on the outside of the eye. Makeup to me is just something to make you feel good, but I'm not the type of person. I think there's more to makeup in life. I love writing, I love reading books, so just going back to that point, if that was something you were to see me do every day, I don't sit in the mirror in front of the mirror every day and do makeup. I just don't. I love reading. I like finding out about different cultures. That's kind of the thing I like. I love doing this, don't get me wrong, but in my day-to-day life, I think I love learning things, you know, I love things like that, learning new facts about things, meeting people when I can, or just spending time with people that make me feel kind of positive. So this is it. As you see, guys, I didn't really go too high with this because this is a deep color. I tend to shy away from deep colors because I'm not, you know, 100% confident. So we've definitely, you can definitely see it's there. So we might lightly blend that. I'm not going to go too deep because I don't want the kind of purple to kind of be taken over, basically. Today's mascara is the Fenty Beauty mascara that I got as a gift from Rihanna. Okay. Hi, you're back. Hi. So what we're going to do before that goes a little bit too close in, we're going to then just use a clean fluffy brush. This is from Elf and they're very good value. If you keep these brushes, you know, so I would say, Jean, do what you want to do. Don't, you know, whatever you find, you know, that makes you happy, just do what you want to do because people don't have the right to judge other people. That's how I feel. So you could certainly go deeper and darker, guys, and I will put pictures of natural lighting. But for me, I obviously I think what a lot of people would do is bring that brown right up and make it into a really big smoky eye. That's not really what I want to do. In fact, I keep wanting to kind of go a little bit more brighter in here because I feel like the brown is going to, because um I've got brown in my eyes are brown anyway, so I think it would just bring my eyes down slightly. It's also so hard without friends in high school. It is. That was me actually. That was me without friends just due to my circumstances. And it's hard, isn't it? Because, you know, it's when it's on lunch and when there's breaks, I think that can be very scary because, you know, everybody kind of goes into their kind of groups, don't they? And that can be, you know, that can be quite intimidating and lonely. It can be a lonely place. And it's very hard to kind of be in school if that's how you're feeling, you know. So, do you talk to anybody about it? Is there anyone you talk to in high school about it, or do you feel comfortable talking to anyone? I think if there's one person you can find, that will really make a difference. Um, and I know this probably sounds cheesy or something that a teenager would not want to do in their wildest dreams, but actually approaching like a counselor in the school or a teacher in the school and just saying, you know, this is how I'm feeling. I'm not necessarily wanting to make a huge thing about this, or maybe you are, but I need kind of extra support and just you know, see what they can do with that. But I understand some people don't want to kind of focus on it and almost put the kind of attention back onto them. I understand that. But do you talk to your mum about it a lot, or your family? Do you have siblings? Does that help if you've got siblings? I wouldn't say I do, now. But yeah, if you have somebody. Absolutely no friends, but good news. My sister's coming in the school and I'm just going to hang out with her. Oh wow. So she's gonna, is it high school? So secondary school. That's amazing. So she's starting in September. So basically you just have a couple of weeks left for summer and then you both go back to high school. That'd be amazing. Yeah, absolutely. You could do that for sure. And it's your sister. Yeah, that's great. That's really good. I think that's amazing. Really good news, I think. It'll really make a huge difference to your school life, won't it? So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go back. I'm actually going to use the Wet and Wild Talk to the Flowers, and we're going to put that highlight in the inner corner just to make it pop a bit. That's amazing. You know, having family and your sister there, that's just what you need. You'll then that'll expand your circle as well, won't it? It'll expand your circle, so that's brilliant. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more of that purple from the Natasha Denona palette, and then we're going to start with the mascara. Curling the lashes, I always would encourage you to curl your lashes first. It just kind of helps the mascara a bit. But yeah, I'm like Eugene. Not everything in my day-to-day life would be makeup incorporated. There is so much more, isn't there, to life than that? And it's nice to have your own confidence. Um, but it's not to say you can't make yourself, you know, on a day like this, just kind of have a little fun, really. But Jean, that's really good. It's good to have family around you as well. So all I'm doing is just kind of, before I do my setting spray again, popping that deep purple. That's called Golden Rose. And then we're going to do our mascara, and I might set the under eyes again. And that's kind of it. You could certainly, guys, if you're not scared of the kind of brown tones, bring that brown right up if you wanted to. I don't think I will. But we're going to go in now with my curling wand from Superdrug. Going to take some water because it's getting warm in here, guys. But it's very hard to make friends in high school because you don't know people's, their intentions. Sometimes some people are really genuine and you find friends. And sometimes in school, like I said, people can kind of pick on certain things and they don't really think about how the other person is being affected by that. So it's really good that your sister is starting. That's great news. Do you have any activities outside of school that you do, Jean? Is there anything you do, like activities, after school activities outside of school that you do that you can kind of meet people? So what I'm going to do is just curl my lashes. And what I always say on my longer form content and kind of down below on my lives is that I look down when I do my when I curl my lashes and mascara because it just gives you a little bit more control. Whether if you're looking into a mirror and you're kind of it's a bit further away from you, you don't really have as much control, and then the possibility of you making a mistake is kind of bigger. Um, so that's that. So I'm just going to look down. I have a little mirror here, and I'm just going to look down and curl the lashes. But my secondary school or high school experience wasn't amazing either. And I sort of got given a hard time for different reasons, not particularly physically, but it actually even started in primary school. When so my dad kind of left quite early on in my life, and so my mum was a single mum, and for some reason in primary school you wouldn't even see it now. The children kind of not so much the girls, but the boys kind of really honed in on that and kind of teased me for it and stuff, which was really surprising. It definitely kind of lessened as I got into secondary school, not so intense. But some people will just find one little thing and they'll kind of go with it and won't let go. So you do learn over time. You know what? That's more says more about them than me and their kids. And maybe when they grow up, they'll be more mature. So you don't know until you get older really, um, what any of it means really. But once you have people around you, um, that support you, which it sounds like you do, you'll be absolutely, you will get through it. Absolutely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I know I was using the NARS mascara, but actually that has come to an end now, I think. We used it in the last, and this is a tester version, so it is smaller than the usual one. But I think we've come to the end of that. So what we're going to be using is the Fenty mascara from Rihanna. It's in just Fenty Beauty. Is there an actual name? Hella Thick is what it's called. So we're going to use that. Again, this isn't actually a miniature, guys. This is the size of the mascara. So it is quite a small size. There wasn't an option for a bigger size on the website. So that's kind of, if you look at that, that's quite small. But I mean, you get a lot in it. And it has a nice thin wand. So it's not too thick. Okay. What we're going to do is look down the mirror again. Basketball, amazing. I was never tall enough for basketball. Are you tall? I was never tall. I love watching it, but I did swimming when I was younger. I was kind of in a swim team. But yeah, amazing basketball. I actually love watching basketball. But yes, I think I didn't make the team. I wasn't like I'm only I think I'm 5'2", 5'3". So I think I needed to be a bit taller for that. Um, but I liked swimming. But that's great. Basketball is really kind of high intensity as well, isn't it? It's great. So this is Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Mascara in black. And you can see the difference it makes, guys, because for me, I don't wear false lashes. They aggravate my eyes, allergies, things like that. But if you can get a good waterproof mascara, then you definitely don't need anything else. But basketball is amazing. And I did swimming. I was on the swim team for a couple of years. So that's just the difference. You can see it kind of just lifts up the so do you play that once a week or is that like on a Saturday? I have a friend who still, she's actually an occupational therapist now, but she still is part of a women's football team. It's amazing. And she still goes every Saturday and plays against other teams. It's absolutely amazing. So you never lose these things, guys. You never lose these things. But basketball is really interesting. So that's kind of, I would say, 3 coats of the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Mascara. And you can see it doesn't make, it makes a huge difference. Obviously you could put false lashes on. That's not something I would do. But if you just look at the two of them, it's almost lifted my eyes slightly. This one is kind of looking and not drooping, but it's just looking a little bit lower. This has kind of opened the eye. Um, and then we can go in the inner corners. We're nearly finished now, guys. So thank you for people that stayed. If you do like my kind of content, absolutely do feel like you can subscribe. But I also like when I get to the 500 subscribers, I'm going to be able to do polls, which mean a poll is questions and answers. So that's even more communication. So I could say, what palette would you like this, next week to review on a live, or what subject would we talk about? And like people can have like options to kind of vote and things like that, which will be really good. So I'm just going to work a little bit on the inner corner, just a little bit, because I can see these lashes in the middle are absolutely fine, but I kind of want to see that inner corner there. So we're going to do this side. I'm just going to quickly curl the lashes, but before that I am going to have a drink of water because it's warm. You can probably hear the rain outside. Thankfully the thunderstorm has stopped. Okay. Okay, so just seeing the difference there, we're going to just curl the lashes. Yeah, get the mirror. There we go. And looking down just gives me more kind of control, I feel. But yeah, I'd love to get back into swimming, but I have an illness at the minute. It's more like a long-term illness, and I just have to make sure that my energy and that I'm feeling okay that day to swim, because obviously swimming is a little bit more concentration and you're in water and things. So, but no, I love it. I used to be on a swim team as a kid. Even as a teenager, actually, I stayed in like in the team. Okay, so I've just literally curled the lashes, and you'll be surprised how much work the curler actually does, and it helps the mascara. So what we're going to do is just use that Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Mascara from Rihanna, and we're just going to do what we did on the other side. Okay. So if you're still here, Jean, when does school end? Do you finish up pretty soon? I know over here they finish up literally in about 12 days time. And then they're not back until I think September the 5th maybe, or the 3rd. Okay, so you can see it just gives a bit of life to the eye. Okay, so I think we're almost done, guys. Thank you again to people that have joined. It's really good to chat to you. And also, if you're new and you haven't seen the channel, it's great to talk to you too. So that's kind of the 2 eyes done, about 5 coats each. You could always do more if you wanted to. I think for this look today, that's okay. You could always do with the Natasha Denona palette, you could have gone a lot stronger with that brown, but I feel like for me, that's my comfort zone. Not ready to go a little bit stronger with that just yet. But I do enjoy this palette, guys. That's the 3 looks I've done now. I will link below in my post the other looks I've done. They were all lives, so you can take a look at the lives. So we did a matte one, we did one just focusing on the glitters, and then we've just done one today with the brown. So that's the 3 you can do really. If you're not a fan of these colors, Natasha Denona does similar 5 palette pans with like blues, greens, kind of more neutral colors. So there's not just this one to choose from. So that is the look. We're just going to put the top back on the mascara, and then I'm just going to do one more spray with the setting spray. I will take pictures afterwards just in the natural lighting so you can see on the post section. So we're just going to, this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Give that a shake. And I'm just going to, it's a mist, so it's not going to be as heavy as a spray. Okay, and that will set everything. Again, the photos will be in natural lighting shortly after this. I do want to thank everybody for coming on the live. Again, we are testing the algorithm. 8 o'clock tomorrow night will be the next one, UK time, 8 p.m. Thank you for everybody here today. I will always look back at your page if you want me to on YouTube and subscribe. Again, do take a look at the challenge itself if you are interested or if you're new today, and I'll see you soon.